So last night when I set the course, originally I was thinking, we'll come out and have a horse show. But I don't know, I always think better when I'm sleeping. And somehow I woke up this morning, I said, yeah, that's not really what we're here for. So what we're gonna do instead is we're gonna work on the flat for about 45 minutes, and then we're gonna break the course up into bits and gradually put it together, because I've put in this course some realistic issues that you would have at the horse show. And so I really want to kind of walk you through each issue on its own, so that then when you're faced with that at the show, you've got the playbook. You know exactly how to do it. You may already, but I'll just build on your knowledge, all right? Now, what I try to do the day of the Classic or the Grand Prix is work on my horse's physical and mental state. At that point, personally, I'm not working on rideability. If I don't have my basic rideability done before the day of the Grand Prix, I should pack up and go home. Now, there's always little issues and you don't want to ignore them, but basically what I'm looking to do is to see, how is my horse feeling? Is he perfectly sound? Is he really ready for the day? Can I get his back round? Can I get his body relaxed? I have, if I have massagers that we use on the horses on that day especially to try to get their back relaxed. So when I'm doing my flat work that day, or maybe the lunging and then the flat work, the whole day for me with those horses, and a lot of times I can't do it all because I'll have other obligations throughout the morning. I like it better when I can kind of do it myself. I love lunging the horse myself, massaging the horse myself, doing that relaxing flat work myself. Like in the perfect day, the perfect Grand Prix day is me and my animal. So then I'm trying to think, well, what do I want? Well, I don't want to be all before the Grand Prix. I don't want to be all worked up and tense and stiff and, rigid. I don't want to be, just run right out of the hotel, race to the Grand Prix and jump on and go. That's not at all what I'm looking to do. I'm going to get there on time. I'm going to have my ducks in a row so that when that moment comes, I'm relaxed, I'm ready for it. So today, when you're doing your flat work, what I'm looking for is that horse's relaxation. Is the horse's back coming up? Is the horse round? Does the horse basically move off my inside leg in a relaxed fashion, move off my opposing inside leg in a relaxed fashion? Is the horse comfortable with my hands? That's when I want to know. Does he have a little pinch? Does he have a little rub? Does he have a little issue? I want to make sure everything is perfect and that I'm not necessarily ruffling my horse's feathers that morning before that big class. That should have been done. That's what Tuesday is for. That's what Wednesday is for, Thursday, Friday, on and on. But when I get to Saturday, it's about making everything perfect, making the horse feel as though this is going to be a good day. This is going to be a good day. This isn't going to be a stressful day. So what I'd like to see hang on, let me just do a quick walk around. What I'd like to see, yeah, that's like really loose, but you like that? Is that normal?
I've never really used this one on him, so I didn't.
All right, all right.
He can go tighter.
Yeah. I'm busy going over my equipment, trying to make sure my equipment is just so, however it is, that it's just so. I'm checking my horse's mouth. I'm working with my staff to make sure that they have my first choice of bit at the ring and my second choice of bit at the ring. Making sure they know. I try not to make assumptions. Good. If necessity is the mother of invention, then assumption is the mother of all mistakes. Assumption is our enemy. So you have to make sure that you go through everything before every day, but especially on the last day. I like that you have it on the snaffle rein there. I would say you want to be careful with this a little bit, because with the drop it's going to suck that down. So yeah, you want to raise it up. The minute you put a drop, the minute you put a flash or a drop, whatever you want to call it, you want to make sure that the nose band is about a finger below the cheekbone. You don't want it any closer than that, because then it puts a little too much pressure on their pull. But you'd like to have it just about a finger from their cheekbone, maybe a pinky, so that way the flash, the drop, doesn't drop too low and make it so they struggle to breathe. Because I wouldn't want to do a lot of physical activity with someone holding my nose. Unless your horse is really fresh. Now, if you have just the right blood horse, maybe you want to tighten that thing up and let it slide down. That's a joke. Your running is a touch long. When you're going to use a running, the way to evaluate your running in general is when the horse is standing just a little bit up, that it's right at the bottom of the throat latch there. All right, and I'd say it's just a couple holes too long. We got one hole left here. Use it. And that's the other thing you want to check in the morning. You want to make sure in the morning when you check your equipment that you have at the very least, one extra hole on everything. Your leathers, cheek piece, running, standing, whatever. Because what happens? Well, what happens in the afternoon? What's happening today? It's lovely, nice warm day. It's much hotter today. So then all your leather is going to stretch out. You have to, before, the Grand Prix is normally, okay, like in Wellington, it's in the evening, so then your leather tightens up. But at most Grand Prix, they're, 1, 2 o'clock. So then your leather is going to stretch out a little bit in the heat, especially if you're out west. You guys don't have quite the heat most of the time that we do, but when you're out west especially, you want to make sure you have extra holes, because the temperature is going to change. Now, I like nose bands. I like nose bands where they're snug but not tight, because what you want in a perfect world, what you want is for them to be comfortable. You want them to be comfortable until they open their mouth. If you make them too loose, then they open their mouth and it's still comfortable. So you're not wanting them to be in a state of discomfort, but you're wanting them, if they do the wrong thing, that then they're uncomfortable. So with the nose band, hey buddy, with the nose band you want to make sure that if they open their mouth, it's uncomfortable. And if they close their mouth, it's comfortable. Now anytime you have these tendon wraps, you always, as the jockey, you always have the responsibility. See, okay, you're out of holes, so yeah, but it's okay. It's okay. It happens to be right, but again, it's getting warm, so that would mean that I need a new bridle. Okay, so that would mean I need a new bridle, because you don't want to ultimately be in the spot where, oh, I'd love to tighten that hole, but this is the only noseband I have. All right, so anytime we have the one horse with the tendon wraps, anytime I have those tendon wraps, and I'm going to assume, most people would assume that you have a tendon problem, just so you know, which is fine. Doesn't mean you have. Some people use them as an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, which I think there's some wisdom in that. But anytime you have tendon wraps, you have to make sure, well, how long have they been on? How long have those wraps been on? What time did my staff apply those wraps? If it's been too long, they're going to settle. And they settled in a stagnant position. In other words, horse was standing in the stall, standing in the cross ties, standing, walking, not really exercising. They look great because I think you just applied them maybe within 15 or 20 minutes. Yeah, okay. So then she's all right, but you don't always know that. So then you have to be willing to take those off and reapply them. I personally like to do if I have a horse with a tendon issue that I'm concerned with, I like to do those wraps myself. Not because I'm better at it than my grooms, they might be better at it than me, but it's my fault. It's my fault. When that tendon goes, I'm the one that has to call the owner. I'm the one that has to call the owner. So I'm ultimately responsible for that problem. So I'm going to take that responsibility seriously, and I want to see that leg. I want to see that leg that I'm concerned with, obviously, or we wouldn't have those special wraps on it. I want to see that leg before I mount up. Because if that leg is changed, the last thing I want to do is then just blindly go off and do a Grand Prix if there's something puffy or different than the evening before. So I want to see it. Now you just put those on, I'm going to assume you know what you're doing. But if it's me, I'm taking those off and I'm putting them back on. It takes a long time for me to feel that a groom is better at that than I am. So I take that responsibility. All right, now let me see you guys go ahead and do a little flat work. And what I'm looking for, I'm going to try to have you do it all together. I don't know if we're going to be able to stick with that, but I'm going to try to have you do it all together. Let me see you go ahead and just use kind of from this barbershop combination to the headquarters. Okay, so this half of the ring. So what I'm looking for on this day is getting the horse relaxed through its back, long and low, looking for my hand so it's comfortable stretching down. Go ahead. If you wait for me to shut up, you'll wait a long time. I'm looking to get these horses around my legs. I'm looking to get these horses around my legs. I'm looking to get this horse, Darian, wants to get a little stiff, right? And linear. You want to make sure that with that horse in particular, that without being too hard, that you teach it to follow your hand. Teach it to follow your hand and start to break its rib cage a little bit.
Refill water or anything?
I'd love a hotter coffee with a little bit of cream. Super. Thank you. That's the idea, Alicia. Good, you've got a ways to go, but you're going in the right direction. You're trying to get that horse to hunt for your hands. Hunt for your hands. Good. Good, Darian. Good. That's beautiful, but I still would like to see Michelle, as good as it is, I'd still like to see him looking a little bit longer and a little bit down. No. It's not that I don't trust them. It's just that I like you. So I'm just going to put these rails so that we have less odds of someone And you know, if you feel someone veering your direction, you might want to jump a couple seats higher, because I'd hate for you to get wedged between a 1,200-pound animal and an aluminum bench. All right, that's all you have between certain death. There you go. All right, so you're staying on this side of these rails. Good, Andrew. Good, but Andrew, with you, you have to push yourself a little bit. Come down here. I want you to come down here. So Sheila, you're trying to get him to use his back, reach down for your hand. With you, I need you to push yourself a little bit more. When you think 10%, you need to think, 50%. In other words, when you ask this horse to bend, that's better, Andrew. You know what I'm getting at? You just make it too nice. It's great, but it's just too nice. And then ultimately you put yourself in a little bit of a pit. All right? So make sure that you keep working this horse off of that inside leg. And what were his problems yesterday? Hang on, everybody walk for 1 minute. It's hard for me to do 5 at a time. And Andrew, now we're getting familiar with each other. I think I rode this horse yesterday, right? And because he was all right, perfect. Yeah, 5's not going to work for me. Come on down here. Come on down here. The nice thing is, Sheila, I'm not going to LA tonight. I'm going to London. So that flight's not till 10. So we've got till like 6, 7 o'clock tonight, so I can relax, take my time. Now look, Andrew, this horse's problem was that he wanted to think with his forehand, with his hands. The Mexicans call the front legs hands. Whenever, I don't know why, something in the translation. But this horse wants to think with his hands. I actually like it, because we think with our hands, and so the horses think with their hands, and it makes perfect sense to me. So this horse thinks with his hands instead of with his legs. So while you're doing all of your work, you need to be caressing his legs. You need to be getting his legs to start shifting so that the two of you have a real relationship with your legs and his legs, so that you can affect his legs, because his hands are kind of your enemy and his legs are your friend. So as you're doing this relaxation work, I want to see him shifting, pushing, relaxing. All right, let me see you do just right here for a minute in this circle. Just back up a touch, Michelle. But right in here, just a little circle right in here. I'm going to go through this. I like better. We have time. Sheila she wants your do badly. She wants your poo in a very serious way. So I'm going to go through with you each horse, because over the last couple days we understand our horses now, and we understand their frailties. So I don't want to skip any of them. So this horse's frailty, the day of the Grand Prix, is just that. That's better, Andrew. And then push his hips to the outside. This horse's frailty is that he thinks with his hands and not his legs. He thinks with his front legs instead of his back legs. So, Andrew, I'd like to see you shorten up your reins a touch. And I want to see you as well. Yeah. And then back to the left. And then back to the left. Good. And if as you're doing that, Andrew, and you feel that hind inside leg, for example, because he hasn't quite done it yet, but if you feel, there, when you feel that hind inside leg, step across and come under his belly, right here, step under his belly, then that's a good time to say, stretch down, okay? And then after he stretches down, you bring him back up, and maybe you do a little bit, yeah, good, that's haunches out, you're trying for haunches out, great, or shoulder in. Either way, yeah, beautiful, very good, okay. Oh, you're the best.
Warmish.
Thank you, warmish. Good, Andrew, good. And then now maybe do about a half a lap with him and see if you can let him just put his nose on the ground. Let him look like you know, pig looking for truffles. Good, lower, lower. Okay, now bottle that up and start working his hind legs. Now bottle him back up, bring him off the ground. Yep. And then start working his hips a little bit. I like a half pass, the same age as a half pass, to get his haunches in, Andrew. So that outside leg is back a little bit, and he's going to lead in the circle with his hips, as though he's doing a turn on the haunches at the trot. So that way now, there you go, good. And then go back to maybe like a leg yield on the circle, where now his hips are to the outside. So the whole time you're riding this horse, Andrew, focus has got to be on controlling his hips. You know those fire engines with the ladders? Okay, and they've got that guy in the back that's steering the back of the fire engine. That's the way you have to think about this horse, and that your legs is the guy in the back. Does that make sense? All right, let's go ahead and go the opposite direction. And as you go the opposite direction, be shifting his hips. Be shifting his hips, like right there. Do you feel how, as you went and made that turn, he just kind of fell into the turn, right? I would love to have seen him take his hips and drift through that turn. Let those hips kind of shape out through the turn. Good, and then maybe a little bit forward as he stretches down. And then as you pull him up, as you pull him back together after maybe a half a lap, then be pushing those hips in, pushing those hips out. Again, it's the day of the Grand Prix. So we're not trying to make this grrr. We're trying to make this, oh, that's nice. I like it when you do that. That's the mental state we're at, which you like that. All right, and now I want you, Andrew, to start telling me, just before you do it, what you're about to do.
Now I want to like move his hips in.
Maybe now that he's relaxed, when you do that, exhale maybe a little sitting trot for 3 or 4 steps, and then back to the rising trot. So a little collection for his hips. Outside leg back, Andrew. Outside leg back. A little further and push him over, because I still haven't seen those hips really step to the inside. Maybe roll your toe out so you get him with the spur a little bit. Bring his hips, and I would turn your hips. When you do that, Andrew, turn away from the center of the circle. You're turning into the center, turn away from the center of the circle. There you go. Okay, now what are you going to do next? Very good. Now what are you going to do?
Go back to a little bit more collection.
Go back to what, bud?
A little bit more collection.
Okay, and what about his hips? What are you doing with those?
Move them in again.
Move them in, okay. Face out. Face out, bring that left leg back. Face out, bring that left leg back. Face out with your hips, Andrew. Look at me. Look at me. I want you to face out with your hips, and that's going to push that hind end in this way. This way.
Out further.
Better. Okay, okay. Now what are you going to do?
Go forward.
Yep, yep. Okay, what's the next step?
I'm going to put him out now.
You're going to what, buddy?
Put him out to the outside.
Okay, so now face in. Now face me. No, now face me. If you're putting his hips to the, did you say inside or outside? My mistake, I'm sorry. You were spot on. That's beautiful, that's beautiful. Okay, good job. Now what are you gonna do?
Now that's better to the inside.
All right, now what are you doing?
Trying to get them in. He's really hard on myself. harder.
Yeah, but I think you're using your hips a little backwards. Walk a minute. Let's do it at the walk because I'm struggling to see.
Yeah.
Okay, at the walk, if you want the horse's hips in, you don't want to turn in with your hips, you want to turn out with your hips because you're trying to push his hips in. If you want to push his hips out, then you're going to turn in so that you can push his hips out. All right, let me see it at the walk. If you want to push his hips in, look at the team headquarters and push his hips in with your outside leg. Yep, and now face the trees. So you look to the outside of the ring and use that left leg to bring his hips towards me. Bring his hips towards me with that left leg, but look out of the circle and bring his hips towards me. Like you're going to do a turn on the forehand. Yeah, yep, left leg when he does that. Left leg when he does that. Like you're going to do a turn. Go ahead and do a turn on the forehand off of your left leg. Turn on the forehand off of your left leg. No, that's turn on the haunch. Turn on the forehand, which means, look, Andrew.
Move his hips around.
Yes, you've got to move his hips around his front legs with your left leg, not the right leg, with your left leg. There you go. And when you do it, face me. Now face me. That's right. And he doesn't like it. Good. There you go. Good. That's right. There you go. That's getting better. Now he's starting to listen. That's right. Now he's starting to step off of that pressure. Okay, now wait. All right, now go ahead and walk to the left. So now his hips are to the inside. Now why don't you go ahead and push his hips to the outside. So you're going to face the inside with your hips so that you can push his hips to the outside. Face me and push his hips out and use your left rein, your inside rein. Yep, and push his hips out. Right rein, left rein, sorry. There you go. Okay, there you go. Keep trying. Good. Face me. I'm going to help you out. Face me. There. Okay, see if you can do it. Now keep walking. There you go. Okay, back to the walk. So if I want my horse's hips out, then I've got to twist out. If I want my horse's hips in, I've got to twist in. Because the horse's body is supposed to stay in between my legs. So if I want their body over here, I'm going to do this. If I want their body over there, I'm going to do that. And then my legs work separately. Yep, there you got it. Pat him. When he gives you a little, you give him a lot in the beginning. Okay? Again, get those hips out.
Yeah, out or in?
No, I'm asking you to put them out.
Oh, put them out.
Yeah. Get his hips out. Yep. Okay, now let's get his hips in. So face out. No, use the outside leg for his hips. Put his hips in. Put his hips in. No, with the outside leg. Leave this one alone. Just use the right leg. Get his hips in. Face, there you got it. That's right. Perfect, Andrew. That's perfect. Now put his hips out. Face in. You face in. And you put his hips out. That's right. A little more. Left rein. Left leg. Face me. And do it. Face me. Look at me. Yep. Keep trying. Left leg only. Look at me. Good. Pat him. That's the reaction. This is the core of your complexity. This is the core of your problem. You've got to hammer this home, all right? Let's go ahead and go the other way real quick, and we'll do a little bit the other way. Okay, now let's go ahead and put his hips out. So now look at me, right rein, look at me, turn your hips towards me.
Using his outside spur.
Yeah, don't use your outside spur, just use the inside spur. There, you got it, good. A little more right rein, look at me, get his hips out. Right rein, right rein, right rein. There you go, whoop, that's right, come forward, good. Okay, right rein, right leg, get those hips out, Andrew. There you go, good. Then walk and relax. Super, 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 good. All right, good. Now, go ahead and try to get his hips in. So now put that outside leg back and face that way. There, that was it. That was it, good. Now let him walk and the same thing. Try to get his hips out. So face me, right leg only, right rein only. Right rein only. Don't worry about that. Right rein, right rein, right rein. Good, super, super, good, good, that's right, good. There. So obviously the two of you need to work on that relationship, right? Okay, because if you can do this, Andrew, once you get good at that, I think you're going to be really happy with the result, all right? Okay, why don't you go back out and let me work with the next one. All right, so Alicia, so what's Alicia's problem with this horse? Engagement, and this horse, yeah, she wants to, you're a little strong with your upper body, you're a little strong with your arms, and so you want to turn him into a little bit of a brick instead of turning him into a spring. Okay, let's go ahead. Right up to the trot, and then, but then push your hands away from your face like your gloves stink. There you go, good. And now just think with your leg. Relax your hips, Alicia. Relax your hips and just think with your leg. That's all you're riding him with. You don't need those hands. They are dead weight. They are dead weight. There, there. And just see if you can get him to look for your hands. Remember I don't know if you saw me ride that bay horse yesterday, where you create a vacuum. Okay, anyways. You just create a vacuum with your hands in the beginning, Alicia, where that horse has to hunt for it. There, you feel the difference? If you create a vacuum of communication, then the horse looks for that same line of communication. So if you create a vacuum with your hands, the horse will reach to find your hands. Yeah, left leg, just think with your leg. Relax your body, get a little taller, try to bring those shoulders back, put the hands down. A little taller, Alicia, and keep those hands away. Thumbs up just a touch for me. Keep those thumbs up just a touch for me. Beautiful, good. Good. Keep feeding those hands, because you see how he wants to come up a little bit? There, pat him, pat him, pat him. Yes, 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 that's better. Good. All right, when you get a chance, go ahead and reverse. And right leg. Good. And see if you can create a vacuum so he looks for your hand. Little right rein only. You don't need the left rein at all, really. Go ahead and I want you, just for fun, just drop the left rein. It's more fun for me than you. There you go, good. And then that right rein, let it go a little bit too. Don't drop it, but just leave it long. And just try to use the balance between the one rein and your legs. Good. And if he's soft, push that right hand down so that he hunts to the right. In other words, in this way, you're using your balance between your right leg and right rein. And this is how you get a horse to get off of that inside leg. This is simulating what you want to do to get the horse shaped into your turns, which is just that inside leg, inside rein, so that they step out away from that pressure. Most people now, you want to get, if you want to go out into the turn, you pull out into the turn. Pulling out into the turn sets up a horse that's coming to this combination, for example. If you're coming on the left side to this combination, there, let him go as long as he wants. Don't worry about his speed. If you want to affect his speed, just change your rhythm. but you don't need that left hand at all. Good. It's the balance between that inside leg and inside rein. There, let him stretch. He's begging. He's begging for you to let him put his nose on the ground. Just let him do it. If you pull out instead of pushing out, then you end up in the corner like this. Then they lock their hips, they lock their rib cage, and then when you go to turn them, you have to throw them back in. You have to swing them back in with that inside rein. If you push out, then you make whatever you want, because the inside leg controls the shape of the turn. If you want to wait for another taxi, you want to wait for the next distance, manufacturing a different distance, you just keep that inside leg a little bit longer. But the other way, you're holding out with that outside rein. The horse doesn't see the jump, they're stiff and inverted. So it's much better to push out than it is to pull out. Also, if you go to pull out, you're affecting the horse's canter negatively. And we have that a little bit with him, where sometimes his canter gets a little feisty, and right? So when you pull, he's going to resist and he's going to get light in the croup to fight you. Whereas if you push and he's crossing himself, he's going to have less fight because it's more natural. If they're out in the wild, if they're out turned out together, they're not going to turn like that. You know, they're not going to turn like that. We do that. They don't turn like that. They turn like we would turn. Good. There. Now that's what he's been dying for. That's what he's been dying for. Everybody thinks that if I know how to use my outside rein, that makes me a good rider. I would beg to differ. The outside rein is the supporting actor. It's not Al Pacino. It's whoever the guy is that he's talking to. He's there to help the inside rein. He's there for support. Beautiful, beautiful, very, very good. All right, now go ahead and change direction and change rein. Good. Now pick up the other rein. Good, very good. Alicia's liking this. Good. And see if you can keep that hand in. Yeah. I think he's liking it even more than Alicia. I love it. I love it. You've got a different horse. You've got a different horse and you're a different rider. Very good. You don't need that right rein. Put that hand behind your back, that right hand. Because you don't need it. You don't need it. Good. Left leg, left rein. Now this teaches a rider, and I do this at home. I do it at home a lot. I'll ride with one rein. I do it at home because I want to make sure that I'm riding with my legs, because she by definition has got to be using her inside leg, because that's the only thing that keeps her from making a tiny little circle like this. So that's one way to teach a rider to actually think a little bit more with their leg instead of always just thinking with their hands. Very good. Okay, super Alicia. All right, go ahead and walk. Next one, Sheila. All right, Sheila, similar problem as Alicia, where you want to get George a little bit tight because you want to think with your hands instead of thinking with your legs. So let me see you go ahead out here. You don't have to drop that rein unless I tell you to, but I want to see you thinking with your leg and don't sweat the small stuff. You understand, Alicia? Don't sweat the small stuff. You know, you spend all your time looking for perfection when it's sitting underneath you.
Well, and I think, I want to help him balance, and he's got to find his own.
Yeah, what you're helping him do is be out of balance.
Right.
All right? He's questing. He's on the search. His holy grail is relaxed through the back. And your holy grail is holding him up. He doesn't need to be held up. He's not going to fall down. He's got 4 legs. He's a table. He's not a bar stool. He's a table. That is better already, Sheila. Keep that left leg working. And let him just look where he's going. His body needs to be shaped the same. Yeah, pat him, pat him. And when they do what you want, tell them, ich liebe dich. Tell them that you appreciate it. Tell them that you like it. I don't have a real problem telling my horses when they do something I don't like. So how can I have a problem telling them that they're doing something that I do like? Not only that, when I feel as though I tell them consistently something that I do like, I'm changing the tone of the conversation. Instead of always being the one that's saying, you're a bad horse, you're a bad horse, you're a bad horse, I want to be the one that's always saying, you're a good horse, you're a good horse, you're a good horse. That mentality is going to make someone better, just like it's going to make a horse better. If you sit around and tell someone they're not good, they're going to feel as though they're not good. Great. A little more left leg. Now drop that right rein. You don't need it. Let go of it. Good. Now to control the tempo, it's just relaxation. Yes, and then let him stretch and look for that left hand. There you go. A little bit of, yes, and a little bit of left leg there. And let him reach for that. Good. And just keep your eyes and your shape on where you're going. Nice and tall. Good. 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 That's just that left rein, left leg. Beautiful. Good boy. Good. Excellent. Okay. When you get a chance, go ahead and you work yourself around and you can change direction. Don't take the other rein up until you're in the middle of the change. Beautiful. Now, did you see as she came across the diagonal, Andrew? Did you see that when that moment when he yeah, and he was saying, oh, you know, talk to me, talk to me. Sometimes, who was it? Who was the comedian? Oh, what was the comedian? He was in Taxi. Remember the comedian in Taxi? Remember Taxi? Was that how? I don't know. I don't want to say. I'll ask you how old you are, but what was the? You know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah. The guy Lotka. He played Lotka in Taxi. Andy Kaufman. Yes. Andy Kaufman. Genius. Weird, but a genius. So the idea being sometimes you say more in silence than when you're speaking. When he did, I think it was Saturday Night Live, and he did the Mickey Mouse skit. Remember the Mickey Mouse skit? Anyways, that's you can find it on YouTube. Andy Kaufman. There you go. There. Beautiful, Sheila. Beautiful. Good. Good. All right. Great. Next one, come on out. That's right. See, so now you're getting what you want by doing less. Okay, Michelle. So Michelle, we love him, right? He's a wonderful horse. But we've figured out his kind of weakness is that sometimes he gets a little angry, right? He gets a little angry when he gets tight. Right. So that tells me, as a trainer, what I need to work on with him is the accordion effect. Yeah. Okay, is the accordion effect. If I have a horse that gets angry when he gets tight, then the key is loose, tight, so that he starts to find tools in his own body so that when you get him tight, Michelle, he's just not so pissed off.
So you think lengthen and collapse?
So yes, so what I want you to do is I want you to see how long you can make him. See how long you can make him. So drop the right rein for fun. I find it fun. Just drop it. Drop it. No, I mean, drop it. Oh. Just drop it. You don't need it.
Too long, is it?
You don't need it. There you go. Good. Then you can shorten up your left rein a touch and just work on that balance between your left hand and left rein. And then let him stretch down. Let him stretch down. Yes. Let him find the circle. Let him find his shape. Let him find the circle. Good. There. Feed forward. That's how. See, that feed makes it so that you go left. Feed him the rein. Feed him the rein. Soften. meaning you need to let go. Good. Good. A little bit of left leg. You can stay a little bit taller, Michelle, and just slow your rhythm down. There. And as low as he wants to go, do not impede his pleasure. There. Soften and let him stretch down. Let him look for your hand. Don't see right there, as he was gonna look for your hand, you gave him your hand too early. Does that make sense? Make him look for your hand longer. Now leave it alone. Drop that hand and make him look for it longer. Don't touch him. Don't touch him. Don't touch him. There. Don't touch him. Don't touch him. Don't touch him. Don't touch him. Let him look for your hand. Good. Slow down your rhythm. You're doing great. Don't touch him. Super. Good. Okay. Go back to asking him a little bit. Yep, and then soften, 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 soften. Good. Bend him, yes, pat him, pat him, pat him, pat him, pat him, pat him. The Lord works in mysterious ways. Good. Let him soften. Ask again, left leg first. Good. There, and then let go, and then let go. Beautiful job. Again, the same thing you just did. And then soften. Yep, a million times for 1 second. Ask again. Soften. There. All right, go ahead and reverse. Go the, yeah, there you got it. There you got it. Go ahead and reverse and go the other way. Don't change your rein until about now. Super. Good job. Now just drop that left rein. There. Beautiful job.
It's better this way.
Oh, well, good. Then I'll look like a hero. I'll look like a hero. You'll look like a hero too. There you go. Then soften. Yep. Good. Very good. See how long you can make him. You only make him tight so that you can make him long. There. Then make him long. Yep. A little tight on the right and then long. Yep. A little tight and then long. All right, now go ahead and take that rein back. Hi, buddy. Hello. You coming over? Coming over for a cookie? Good. Now, just because I gave you that outside rein doesn't mean I want you to use it. I want you to just keep doing the same thing you were doing. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to do 5 strides of a little bit of compression, 5 steps, sorry, and then 5 steps of a little bit of a stretch, and then let him stretch again. So 1 leg, 1 rein, 1 leg, now let him go, forward, forward, forward. Good, right rein, right leg. Good. All right, now exhale and bring your head back, and now tight. And then let him stretch, let him stretch, let him stretch, let him stretch. Drop it, drop it, drop it. Good, right rein. That's right. All right, now bring them together. Both reins, especially the right. A little more collection. Good, and then let him stretch, let him stretch, let him stretch. So in this way, Michelle, we're teaching this horse that at the end of every stress is relaxation, with the idea that don't freak out about the stress because it's not going to be there forever. There, and then stretch it. Let him stretch again. All right, now you want tight again. Tight again. Outside leg a little bit. Good, little outside rein. Little outside rein. Now the supporting actor comes into the scene, and now go back to your leading man. Your leading man. Good. All right, now we'll use the supporting actor a little bit. And now back to the leading man. And lengthen and back to the inside rein. Good. Now the supporting actor. A little more knee and thigh, taller with your body. Good, good. And then now back to that right rein relaxation. All right, good. Next one. Good job, Michelle. We were trying to get these horses to stretch. We're trying to get this horse not to block, to shift back and forth. You know, I know we're on the East Coast, but if you have a friend that has a Western horse.
I used to ride Western.
You used to ride Western? All right, no, good. Is that how you started?
Yeah.
I wanted to ride Western when I was a little kid, because who wants to dress like this every day? And then let go. That's right. Ask for something and then let go. Now I want you to go ahead and slow down your rhythm and sit a little taller, put your knee and thigh on, and now I want you to ruffle his feathers for about a half a lap. Bend him, come on, then, okay, and then outside rein as well. Sit a little bit stronger, good, get him back a little bit. Okay, now relax and let him go. Now relax and let him go for a half a lap. Good. Now I want you to ruffle his feathers for about a half a lap, ask for something, sit a little taller, ask for collection, ask for a little bit of outside rein as well. A little bit of outside rein as well, good, good. And now let him be happy. Yes, pat him. Yes, right. Darian, do you follow? Walk. Because this is what you and I were talking about earlier, and this is where you don't want to do the feather ruffling. But once you did the feather ruffling, didn't that 5 steps over there feel really nice? Yeah, so ruffle his feathers a little bit, because then you're going to have a better horse. All right? You're asking nothing doesn't make him a better horse. You have got to ruffle his feathers when you feel as though you've accomplished something. I love you. But then go right back to ruffling his feathers. You have to demand. You have to demand. It's like sending if you don't want your child to ever make a mistake, I want to send my child to a school and I want him to be the perfect student. So I'm going to send him to a school. I'm going to send him to a school where they don't ask him any questions. That wouldn't make any sense, right? So you've got to ask some questions at your school, and then when the student answers them, then you reward the student. Then they have a chance to actually be the perfect student. Otherwise, they're just a body that's breathing in a room. Try it again. Check your diagonal. Not that it matters. I've been on the wrong diagonal before, my leg's never fallen off. All right, ruffle his feathers, ask for something. Yep, and then a little bit of the supporting actor, the outside rein, both reins for this horse. Come on, there, and then be nice. Then there was that moment by the blue bucket where you're, now ruffle his feathers, outside rein and inside rein, back to the trot. Whoa, back to the trot, outside rein, shorten up your reins. There, and then pat him. And then it's the same thing. When you're ruffling their feathers, you're looking for that moment to stop. Now start. Outside rein, inside rein, get his head down. Get his head down. Slow down your rhythm. Slow down your rhythm. Pulling, yep, pull harder. Both reins, pull harder. Pull harder, harder, harder. Outside rein as well. Get your shoulders back. Come on, pull. There, and then be nice. Pat him. Good, now pat, now again, go back to another contract. Come on, be hard, and then more, there, then pat him. And then ask again. Come on, hard, be hard, sit up. There, be nice, pat him. And then ask again. A million times. Repetition, good, ask again. Get him under, yeah, and then be nice, good. And now ask again. You're wait too long. And so he gets bored. And he starts to wander off, dreaming of, now get him back. Come on, get control. Okay, I think I have a job to do. Darian, come over here. I've got to ride that horse for 1 second. All right, well, I'm getting organized. I want you guys to go and do your flat work, exactly what we've worked on. And in about 10 minutes, we're going to start jumping, okay? I have a hard hat that I've brought around here somewhere. Go ahead and hop off and I'll get my stuff real quick. I wasn't going to do this today, but So you should be working on what you were working on. And you're welcome to do it a little bit at the canter, but this is free time. This is free time. So spend it wisely.
A lot of times when I start to like ruffle his feathers, he just goes to doing that.
Y'all bet he does.
And I never know, like, do I run into it? Do I spur
Well,
him? Do I
we're gonna find out.
Like, I never know what the right answer is for it.
All right, you mind throwing me up?
One.
All right, perfect. Okay, so, all right, now with this horse, it's all about trying to get him activated with his body. So you want to make sure that you sit on him and that you demand with your leg an ounce of respect. You have spurs, so that you ask for an ounce of respect. So he's busy trying to figure out how, because he likes his life. He's very happy with his life. And so he's saying, no, you're not going to make me. You're not going to make me do anything. And so he says, as long, I always say that I'm a very reasonable person, as long as I get exactly what I want. Right? Now, so this horse is a little like me. As long as he gets what he wants, he's very accommodating. But if he doesn't get what he wants, he's not very accommodating. So it's just a little bit of a change, because now I'm going to make him a little uncomfortable, and now he's thinking. You can see him thinking, right? You can see him thinking. You can see him thinking. And so we're just changing the furniture a little bit, and we're going to wait while he thinks. I can't control him. I can only control me. And so I'm not going to get mad. I'm going to wait, and I'm going to see how he reads what I do. I have my spur in him, and he doesn't like it, and he's trying to figure it out. He just bit the rein. He'll probably try to bite my leg, and that's fine. But I'm waiting for a moment. I'm waiting for a moment. I'm hoping that that was the moment. Could you see that moment? Now, if I didn't ask for that with that spur, okay, and wait for that moment, then I wouldn't have gotten anywhere. So I have to be willing to have a little bit of short-term trauma to get long-term enjoyment. So now I'm going to stop him. Whoop. And then I'm going to put my leg on and keep it very simple in the beginning. Keep it very simple in the beginning. So now I'm going to stop him and keep it very binary. Because everything, Darian, everything has to come from your leg. Everything has to come from your leg. But you're a little busy not wanting to use your leg, because most people, most people don't want to intentionally make their life difficult. I don't have that problem. All right? For some reason I like that. It's interesting to me. So I like making my life difficult. There. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. And then when he doesn't listen to my hand, I also get him with my leg, because I'm trying to retrain him. I'm trying to retrain him. All right, so now he's going to have a tantrum. I totally respect that. I would have a tantrum too. Right? If you put me in jail and made me break rocks for a living, I wouldn't enjoy that. But that's not what happens. That's not the way we train. The first thing we do is we just hand someone a sledgehammer and we say, can you hold that for a minute? That's the beginning of a very rough life. But that's the way you train. Someone hands you a sledgehammer, eventually you're going to be breaking rocks. Good boy. Ooh. And I'll accept stiffness in the beginning. I'll accept stiffness in the beginning, but I won't accept disobedience. Now, he's round, and you can see by the expression on his face, he's not thinking about butterflies and rainbows. He's not thinking about what he's going to eat for dinner. He's not thinking about what his buddies are doing. He's thinking about, what is this man going to do? Because he's thinking of me and he's being a swell fellow, then I'm a swell fellow as well. And now, because I feel like he's trying to meet me halfway, I'll put my leg on. Good boy. Good boy. That's a good boy. And then when I ask him, whoa, there. See, because when I asked him to slow down, he leaned to the left. So when he leaned to the left, I just said, yeah, that's not acceptable behavior with my left leg. But this is all coming from my leg, not my hand. And you, unfortunately, you want to sit on him like he's an angel. He's not an angel. He's a very nice horse, but he's no angel. He's not a China doll. So now I'm going to start asking for a little more. Now I'll start asking for a little more. When he does something, the next thing is you have to be hardwired. Okay, everybody, come on over here. Come on over here. I'll finish this horse up in about 5 minutes, and then we can start jumping. Now, yeah, okay. So he's now I'm going to start asking for more just to try to define what I'm looking for. So it's, and Andrew. So as I'm positioning his hips. I'm just riding his hips. So if I want his hips out, I face in. I face in because I'm trying to get him to face in. If I want his hips in, I'm going to face out because I want his hips in instead of out. So I put my hips in. So that way it's a bit natural. It's a bit natural. If I try to twist the other way, then I'm working against him. So now I'm going to put his hips out. Yep. There, good boy. Good boy. Good boy. So I'm just teaching him what my leg means. That's it. Then once he learns what my leg means, then we're going to have a wonderful relationship. If I want to turn right here, then I'm going to use that outside leg. That's a little harder. There. Good boy. Good boy. And every time I ask for something, when he gives, just watch my spur. Watch my spur. There. He doesn't have to give 100%. He just has to give 1%. 1%. Then when he does his whatever, the dolphin jump, now when he does his little dolphin jump, if you get good at it, when they're up in the air, that's the time to spur. Okay, but it's very difficult to do. That takes a little bit of practice, all right? But, so if you can catch them, it's like a dog, right? If you catch them in the act, if they're going to the bathroom on the floor and you catch them in the act, the odds of them going on the floor again are less. But if you just find the puddle, then it's harder to train them. Okay, so now I feel like he's changed. I feel like now he's listening to me. He's sitting there and he's thinking, what is he going to want me to do next? I've changed his whole focus just by asking him a couple very simple questions. So now I'm going to see if he's going to be accommodating. He's thinking, there. He's thinking, there. 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 Okay? So he was thinking about not wanting to do what I wanted him to do. And now the minute I went to this left leg, he's like, I'm going that way, buddy. I'm going that way. If I go that way, will you leave me alone? Yeah. Then we start liking each other, right? And ultimately, I've always found that horses that have the biggest deficit in one way, once they figure it out, it becomes one of their biggest assets. One of their biggest assets, because they're so proud of themselves they figured it out, that they really understand it. Now I'm just put that outside leg on again. Thinking, 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 thinking. Yes, because he can go, he's very athletic and he's a wonderful jumper. He's a wonderful jumper, but you're never gonna know. You're never going to know because you're not necessarily going to get there because he's busy being a delinquent. All right? So when he's good, I try to make his life pleasant. If he's bad, I try to make his life awkward. I'm not hateful. I'm just doing my job. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Knee and thigh, whoa, spur. Spur, spur. So I'm changing the rules. Now, when he gets stiff in the mouth, I know he's not stiff in the mouth, is he? Andrew, where is he stiff? In his body. In his body. He's stiff in his body. So when this horse starts to, okay, wham. Let's work the body. Now that I'm working the body, he's like butter. If you work the body, you get butter. Good boy. Good boy. And the other thing that I've always felt with horses like this is I've always felt respect. I respect this horse. I respect this horse because he's willing to fight. He's willing to fight. How can I not respect this animal? It's hard to respect an animal that just does everything you want right off the bat. You know, that's not a good horse. That's not a top horse. It might be a good horse, but this horse has a chance of being a top horse. And the reason I say that is because if this horse fights the jump half as much as he fights me, then that's a horse I want to ride. That's why I bought Cristallo, because he fought me hard. He fought me hard. And I felt like, you know what? If this little beast is willing to fight those jumps half as hard as he's willing to fight me, then I'm going to have a top horse. And until he retired, he always fought the jump. And me. Actually, I always said, well, when are you going to retire him? Well, when he stops fighting me. The day he stopped fighting me, that was the last day I rode him. Literally. I got on him, he stopped, he wasn't fighting. I said, you're done. You're done. You're no longer interested in fighting, and you don't need to fight. Now this horse I've been riding lightly for 2 or 3 minutes, and he's starting to sweat, okay? So that means he's working, and I'm not. That's the goal. That's the goal. Good boy. Good boy. All right, now a horse like this, I'm not going to ride too long because a horse like, I love this horse. Love this horse. This is a horse I could ride all day, every day, because he's engaging. He's engaging. This is a horse This is a horse that's trying to outthink me. This is a horse that's trying to figure out how to get around what I'm asking him to do. And that idea, whoa. Imagine what you do for a living. Imagine what you do for a living is study rats. And you set up a maze. And you have these rats. And you want to see if they're going to go look for the cheese. So you put the cheese in the maze somewhere. And then there's this rat and you put it in the maze and it just sits there. It doesn't go look for the cheese. It doesn't look for a way through the maze. It just sits there. That is not entertaining at all. I want the rat that's going to chew through the wall to get to that cheese. I want a rat that's going to eat its tail in order to find the cheese. That's this kind of rat. That's this kind of rat. I love it. All right, I'm going to ride him just a minute more, give him back to you, and you can do the work. But you have to do the work. You have to do the work. You have to understand that you're not being mean. I'm not being mean. I'm being straight. I'm being square with him. I'm being obvious. Good. Whoa. You're a good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Long, long. Tight, tight. Long. Tight, tight. Long. Ooh. Tight. I'd love to be able to be long and tight 5 or 6 times around the circle, but I'm not there yet. Long. Ooh. You're good. You've got protection. You've got that standard. That's your friend. Tight. Ah, you see what I'm saying? This is a nice horse, Darian. This is a nice horse. This horse is going to go places. This horse is going to go places because he's gifted. He's gifted, but that gift makes him difficult. Like most people, gift makes him difficult. And he's a little bit of a prima donna. He's a little bit of a prima donna, which is fine. I don't mind that. So's Elton John. Got to watch your face. To watch your face. Because I'm asking for a lot more physical activity from this animal in a very short period of time. That's a lot of stress on him. So he might rebel a bit, and you know, as he should. I respect him more. I respect him more, not less. I like him more. You're my buddy. You're my buddy. There, you're my buddy. Ooh. There, you're my buddy. There, you're my buddy. Good boy. Now we're making friends. Whoa. And then you don't always ride the same way. Whoa. Whoa. Then if you want to be pretty, you can be pretty again and do the same thing. All right, that's enough. I think that pirouette's going to be good for you. Whoop. Ah. And he's going to stonewall, and I appreciate that. I appreciate a stonewaller. Oh, exhausting being you. Exhausting being you. Right, he's like a human being. There's some of them, they just have a little too much, they're just a little too high strung. All right. Whoa. He is on the clock. Whoa. Okay.
That was very helpful.
1, 2, 3. All right, let's jump. I'm going to take these. Oh no, you know what? I can wait. Okay. All right. I want you guys, 5 of you. Let's do this 3, and then those 2. What I want you to do is the 3 of you, you're going to go ahead and jump this vertical and just figure 8 2 or 3 times. Try not to run into each other. You need to circle, I don't care. That's better anyways. This way. Huh? No, leave those. Yeah, for sure leave those. I don't know who put those benches there without some kind of fence, but they're a braver man than me.
One at a time, all together, yeah?
All together. Unless someone hits somebody else, then one at a time. I like it. Until what? Until you leaned up the neck and took your leg off at the base of the jump. Wait for it. Wait for it. With leg. Good, Sheila. Yep. Keep the leg is like a noose. Your legs are like a noose. The closer you get to the jump, the tighter the noose gets. Tighten the noose at the base. And then Sheila, bend him when you land. Use the shape of the turn to facilitate a soft horse. Good, Andrew. Keep bending him like that in the air. I like that. Good, but don't let him slip to the right. Straight and bend. Low hand, strong leg. Better, Sheila. Good job. Now, left leg in the air. That's good, Andrew. But then when you landed, did you see how his chest came in? That's bad for you. Don't let the chest come in. Don't let the chest come in. Good. Left leg, left leg. Don't let them lock their chest in. Right leg, right bend. And Andrew, when you land, you need to exhale and find your saddle. The saddle is your friend. Good, Alicia. Better. Very good. Great. Okay, next 2. Bending, bending. Ah, beautiful job. That's good. Next 2. Beautiful, Andrew. That's the direction. Because now you're affecting his hind end. You made me this wonderful coffee, and I let it sit. Thank you.
I'm offended.
Michelle. Blah, blah, blah. Why not keep that bend? Why not keep the bend as you go? Why let him out straight? Keep the right bend, and then you've got to use that right leg. And now left leg, left bend. Yeah, there you go. Keep the bend there. Keep your head back. Keep your head back. Yes. So you see, Darian, if you can keep your head back, there's extra space. That's better, Michelle. There, now you're working. Now you're talking. Very good. Left bend, Darian. Left bend. Keep your head back. And right bend in the air. Make him work his body in the air. There, that's the idea, Michelle. Bend him right, 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 left. Yeah, but I'd love to see one more. I'd love to see one more, and I'd love to see you off his neck. Good, Michelle. Just bend him and make him wait. Make him wait. Yeah, and then turn right. Ah, you can do that all day long. Get in the tack. If you don't want to saddle, take it off. Good. There, you wait, Michelle. Darian, if you don't want to saddle, we'll take it off. Don't think I won't. And now left bend. That's right. Have a little fun, for crying out loud. Good job. All right, everybody, come on over here a little bit, and we're going to start the course. For this one, the best place to light up is right in between the triple bar and this vertical. And who did we start with? Why don't we start with you, Alicia. Now, all you're going to do is you're going to jump the vertical, turn left, jump the ox or vertical combination. What's important is B. No, B is not important at all. What's important is A, dominoes. Whenever you think about a combination, vertical, vertical, ox or vertical, whatever, you cannot control B, C, D, E. You cannot control that. There's one thing that you can control, try to, and that's A. If you get the first domino the right distance from the second domino, then the whole thing's going to fall. But if you're so busy thinking about the second domino that you messed up the first domino, it doesn't really matter, does it? So all you need to do for your combinations is they don't exist. Combinations don't exist. It's just a single jump with another jump after it. All right? But that's no longer a combination. All right, let's go ahead, vertical, and then the oxer with the vertical after it. Good, now accordion. Bring your head back, hands down, hands down. Good. Do your job. Soften that horse. I like it. Next one. Very good. Ah, very good, Alicia. And then maybe a counter bend. Maybe a counter bend there. There you go. Andrew, think about his hind end. I like that saddle. Remember, you like your saddle. Yeah. Good. Bend him left. Yep, bend him a little right. We'll make him nice, then bend him left again. Stay in the saddle. Stay in the saddle. Good man. Yes. Next one. Andrew, well done. I like that so much because as he went to inspect, you helped him. You became Mr. McVicker instead of Mr. Smith. Remember the story, right? Okay. Good. Beautiful, Sheila. Next one. I'll keep saying next one forever. So when you get back to the top, stop me, okay? Because we'll have to move on. And don't wait for me to say next one. Just get ready. You should start getting ready now.
I'll be wait for a jump.
Okay, that's fine. But just start early because he's, you know, him. Beautiful, Sheila. Yep, and then soft, and then strong. Bend left. There, Michelle. Good. Come on, outside leg. We'll counter bend if he does that, and then left bend, push him out. Good. Work. Then counter bend maybe, outside leg. Good, a little collection. Yep. And then left bend, get his hips out. Good. Okay, Darian. And then back to the right bend, maybe a little counter bend there. Well done. And then when you go to your trot too, maybe for you, because you want to be a little tight, maybe when you go from the canter to the trot, it's a stretch and then contraction. Relaxation and then contraction. With him, accordion.
Yeah.
Accordion. Otherwise he's going to turn into a ball because he already wants to be naturally a little bit of a ball, which is not a bad thing, right? But you don't want to foster that. Good. Get yourself in the tack. Keep your head over your hips. Good. Wow, she would never have done that yesterday. She would not have done that yesterday. When I say have done that, what am I talking about, anyone over here? Have you watched her ride at all? Huh? Yeah, leaned back and waited, right? Every other day she would have gone sailing in there like she was in the America's Cup. Well done, Darian. All right, we're at the top. Good thinking. Now, you're going to do the vertical combination, green and white. Now I'm going to walk this line for you, this combination. Okay, did you see that? 5.5. Okay, that's not an accident. That's the way it should be. That's the way a course designer is going to set it, so that way you want to wait to add the half stride. You want to wait to add the half stride until you're here. Until you're here. Because the idea is deceleration with control, compression, before the tight combination. If you add the half stride there, then you've made the 5, now 5. In other words, if you did it in the first stride, now you made the last 5 strides flat, and then you're having to come back in forward. So when you walk the half stride to a vertical, you've got to get that early. I'm sorry, late, my mistake, late, okay? You've got to get it late. I was thinking about something else for a split second. All right, go ahead and do it again. Very good.
I'm going to squeeze today if it kills me.
What?
I said I'm going to squeeze today if it kills me.
Yes.
The 3 strides after the jump.
I mean, find your saddle. Yes. I don't think you even know what kind of saddle you have. Good. Do the work. Do the work. That's what we get paid for. In between the jumps. That's what we get paid for. Walk, 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 walk. Stop. Stop. Why? Why did I make her stop?
I feel like I should have landed and gone forward, and I landed and just kept.
Why did I make her stop? Why did I make her stop? Yes. Why did? Well, did she make the horse push away from her inside leg and shape that turn so that she was coming in with some semblance of control? So that it made it then easy for her to do the vertical? No, she did that combination, took her leg off, stopped riding her horse on the flat, started looking for a distance to a oxer that's knee-high to a grasshopper. Okay? Instead of doing the work. You've got to do the work. You've got to make sure, Alicia, that that horse sees your inside leg and doesn't bulge into it, because that's his shtick. That's his thing. So you can't let him do his thing, especially not in the second line. It's one thing on the way when we get to this last line, you've done the best you can, you know, with your finger in the dike, in the dam, all right? But it's another thing from the combination there, you're just setting yourself up for failure, all right? Go ahead and start over again. That's why when we did this flat work, remember everyone? We did the flat work, one rein, one leg. Can that horse get away from my inside leg? That's the moment. That's the moment of truth. And there's like 8 of those on course. That's why it's important to me. Now the left leg, left leg, left leg. Yes! And it only has to be, boom, done. Ask again, done. Left leg. Yes. Yes. Now right leg. Lovely. Next one. Yeah, oh, by the way, that's tight. Let me show you that. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? About 17 feet. Good. Find your tack there, Andrew. Good. Now soften that animal up. Soften him up. Squeeze and wait for him. Push him out with that inside leg. Do your work. Good. Now you're changing leg. Come around, do the oxer. Start with that oxer. And there has to be some disciplinary action for that. Good. And then the right side. Wait for it. Good job, Andrew. I like that ride better. Excellent. Okay, next one. Good, Andrew. When he does that, bud, when he does that, there has to be some form of disciplinary action. Even if it's your fault. There has to be some form of, yeah, that I don't dig. Okay? Good. Change the bend in the air. Now left leg. That's right. Do your work. He's young. He needs to learn to be soft. Good. Keep your leg. Excellent. Bend him left. Left leg, left leg. Beautiful. Then be nice and ask again.
Sorry.
I'm okay. Good. And now right leg. Keep your leg. Very good. Okay, next one. Just keep coming, guys. I get tired of saying next one. Very good. Lengthen, contract, lengthen, contract. Use the jumps to help you with that. Bend him, bend him. Push him out, good job. Now the other leg, now the right leg. Yeah. Whoop. Good. Next one. Do the work. Do the work. Soften that horse. There you go. Even if you do the work wrong. Even if you do it wrong, I don't care. But I want to see you doing something. Good. And then maybe a little counter bend. Good. Bend him left. Bend him right. Bend him right. Sit up. Yeah, bend him left. Bend him left. Bend him right. Bend him right. Bend him left. Bend him right. Bend him left. Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem. That's what happens when you don't do the work. That's what happens when you don't do the work. Look. Stop.
Oh, I couldn't hear you.
That's okay. I almost grabbed you, but you were going too fast. No, it's fine. It's not a big deal. I'm totally fine with it. Now look, the vertical was great, but then when you land, you've really got to do the work. You've got to put the time in. You've got to land, soften on the left, soften on the right. Ask him for a transition, ask him for a little bit of collection. Soften on the right, soften on the left. Bend him off your left leg, then you turn maybe a little counter bend, then back to the left. He's too smart. You've got to keep him on his toes or on his heels. You've got to keep him on his heels, not on his toes. You got to keep him on his heels, all right? If he gets on his toes, you're in trouble. You've got to keep him on his heels. He's got to be a little backed off, all right? Let's go ahead. That's actually the best so far. Go ahead and start from the beginning. And I want to see you do all the work before the jump. It's too late. That's right. Then let him go a little bit. Let him go a little bit. Good. Now get him back a little bit. Now get him back. Bend him, bend him. Now get him back. Sit up. Yeah, yeah. Oh, you little turkey. You little turkey. Now stop him and back him up. Stop him and back him up. Back him up if you can. Spur him to back him up. That's right. Now you're talking. Okay, now let's come around again. Good, good. We can use them as a bumper car. Good, they're plastic. They're just plastic. Okay, now let's go ahead and come around again. He just buffaloes you, Darian. He just buffaloes you. There you go. Now be nice to him. And now be strong on him. Good. Better. Good. Now be strong. Be strong. Get your head back. Get your head back. Good. Be nice. Be nice. Now be strong. Now be strong. Get him back. Ho. Get him back. Good. Now be nice. And now be strong. Whoop. Whoop. Better. Good. Now be hard on him. Then be nice. And then be hard on him. Good job. Now be hard on him. Be nice. Be hard on him. Whoop. Excellent. That's much better, Darian. Okay. Are we at the top? Yes. So now, after, the best place to stand now is going to be, actually, right over here by the bleachers, but facing that way. So, butt to bleachers, butt to bleachers. Now, Darian, that's very good. You've got to mix it up. You've got to mix it up. You got to treat him like Helen Keller if he wants to be so tough. You know, she's real bossy until you move the couch. All right? So blind jokes, are they still okay? All right. Now, when you, now you're going to do the vertical, the combination, the oxer, the combination. Then you're going to roll back left 270 degrees to the vertical. Now, as I said in the first group, when I see one of these rollbacks, the Brits like to do this. It's a gift. It's a gift. It gives me an opportunity to soften my horse without wasting time, because I have all of this time to be softening, softening, softening. Then after this vertical, you're going to turn right, do the oxer vertical. I'm not going to tell you how many tries because it doesn't matter, frankly. Now, just going to give you a heads up. As you come through this turn, this is all about self-control. Softness and the rider's self-control. Because, of course, you can make this distance. But now the oxer is going to be difficult. So you have to say, yeah, okay, that's a good one, but I like the next one better. That one was good, but I like the next one better. That's the one I like. Now I'm still working on softness. Now when I land Alicia from this vertical, then I work on my right side. Now the oxer's a no-brainer. But if I come like this, it's very difficult. All right? That's it for now. Bend him, bend him. Ah, walk, walk, walk. Why does that rub my hair in the wrong direction, Andrew? Yeah. Yes, because she didn't put him to task. She didn't put him to task. The punishment has got to fit the crime. The punishment has got to fit the crime. And what did you see from Alicia's horse? As you're coming to the vertical, Alicia, you're coming to the vertical and he's just like, yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right? When he says, yeah, 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 you've got that right bend and he wants to run up to the base of the jump. What do you think I do? I take my spurs and I stick them in his side and I try to count his ribs. Right? And then I hold him. And I hold the right side of his mouth. So now he gets and he buries himself. And I squeeze him. Ah! Now he's not saying, yeah, yeah, yeah. Now he's going to get there and give me a quality jump. And if he doesn't this time, he will the next. Okay? Try that again. And that goes along with, remember, everybody wants to get deep and take their leg off. So you have to give yourself good habits. If you're going to be deep, you've got to squeeze your eyeballs out. You've got to squeeze like you're going to pop. Good. Do the work. Push out, push out. Good job. Yes. Right leg. Now he's jumping. Head back. Good. Do your work. Do your softening. That's right. If you can be nice every now and again, it won't hurt. Left leg to keep that shape. Right leg creates the control. Right rein, right leg. Don't give up, don't give up, don't give up. Good. Left leg. Beautiful. Next one. Yeah, now I'm happy. I'm happy like a hippo. Good. That's a movie reference. Nothing. Happy like a hippo. It's a movie reference. No. What's the movie reference? Huh? Along Came Polly. Along Came Polly. Didn't know there was going to be a test. Not bad, Andrew. Do the work now. Do the work now. Okay, he's going to the bathroom, so that means his butt's not working for you. Good. Good. Do your job. Yes. Hold him to task. Good job. Right leg. That was beautiful. Don't give up on it, Andrew. Beautiful. I love it. Do the work. Do the work. That's an opportunity. Don't squander it. Good. Keep the leg, come on, active, 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 active. Good job. Beautiful, Andrew. Next one. Nice riding, Andrew. Notice that getting that bend like that, yes, it goes together. Yes, and he's not thinking about stopping, he's thinking about moving his butt around. Distraction. Very good, Andrew. Good, Sheila. Push him out. Push him out. Right leg. Relax, relax. Good, now the left bend, soften him up. Use that opportunity, do your flat work. Then relax, tell him you love him and ask again. Tell him you love him, ask again. Tell him you love him, ask again. Do the work, right side. Tell him you love him, ask for more. Good. Left side, right side. Beautiful. Next one. You're doing great, Sheila. The most important moment, Sheila, with this man is not when you tell him what to do, it's when you tell him how much you love him. Don't forget that. Good. Bend him in the air. Try to get your head back just a touch, Michelle. That's right. Make him work. Push him out. Push him out. There. Good. And now the opposing bend. Head back. Head back. Head back. Squeeze him at the base. Good. Now the left side. I like that a lot. I like that creativity. Beautiful. Yeah. Right side. Next one. Outside leg back. Yeah, Michelle, I'm really happy with your creativity. I really like the fact that you're not just, that you're not bound by straightness. Yeah. That you're allowing yourself to think about your horse and bending and softening, and you're starting to understand, for example, going to this oxer, that if I can get that inside bend, then I get him.
Yeah, he's not rushing.
Yes. Wait for it. Left bend. Get your head back. Bend him right, bend him left, bend him right, bend him left. Now slow him down and then relax. Now slow him down. Yes. Bend him left, bend him left. Good. Act like you want to stop him. And then tell him you love him. Oh, you're going to have to work now. Oh, you're going to bounce that. Somehow you didn't. Okay, get that left side. Don't give up on him. Don't give up on him. Good. Good, there you got it. There, keep the bend. Bend him right. Get your head back. Yeah, okay. You could have gone to the jump, but that's all right. I understand the dilemma. But then find a moment to tell him you like him. Get him back. Get your head back. That was correct. That was correct. Again, the most important moment, the more demanding you are of your animals, the more demanding you are of the animal, the more you have to say, yes, 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 yes. And that's Darian. Bumper car. I'm glad these are plastic, for your sake, for his sake. Now, Darian, just as I'm very happy that you're finally saying every once in a while, no. Now I want you every once in a while to be yourself and say yes. And then immediately, no. And then yes. And then no. It's like a light switch. It's like a light switch. And the horse is never going to know if it's going to be dark or light. Okay? But you have to, okay? You've got to keep them, you got to keep them guessing. You got to keep him, if you just lean on him, he's like, yeah, I got her. I got her. Okay? You got to keep him guessing. Now, after you do that line on the side, you're going to turn inside, Alicia, inside the combination to the oxer, and then you're going to do the blue and red and white oxer. Now, this is a common thing that course designers set. Now, when you look at this oxer, it's designed for a very subtle trap. It's a very subtle trap. And the trap is, you make the inside turn, and again, similar to that vertical, riders have a tendency to just want to go. Now, as you go at the oxer too early, as the horse is landing, the horse is looking at that combination. Now the horse has its eye, as it lands, on the combination. And then the rider has to say, no, we're going to jump this oxer. Now, that in itself is not such a big deal. But the problem is that now the horse is learning not to trust its rider. So the next time you come through the turn and you aim it at a jump, it's thinking, maybe, maybe not, maybe, maybe not. So you want to make sure that you're very clear. So in that scenario, I would go deep in the turn. I'd jump the oxer across a little bit, or at the very least, perfectly straight. And then put the left leg on for the oxer. Then after the oxer, you're going to go around that vertical. You're going to do the triple bar. This I'm going to make back into a vertical. I think you guys are safe now. If you don't mind putting that back up, that'd be great. I'm just going to walk this for you, because this again is a standard test that the course designers use. All right, it's about 4 to 5 feet short. 4 to 5 feet short after that triple bar. And then this is about the same. It's about 4 to 5 feet short in 3. Okay, so that's just a standard test that course designers do, because they want to get you pushing at the triple bar, getting your horse on its shoulder, getting the horse unrideable, excited, all the rest, the blood up, and then now you have to have control to the 3. Okay, but we're not going to do that. Instead, as you come through the turn, you're going to be working on rideability, and when you get to the oxer, the triple bar, you want to ride it like it's an oxer. Don't ride the triple bar the way you may have been trained. The way I was trained to ride a triple bar, was kind of come through the turn and then ride forward to the base. Forward to the base. There's a better way. Instead, imagine it's an oxer. Just ride it like it's an oxer. Keep the horse's balance here like it's an oxer, and then they jump the triple bar like it's an oxer, and then they land and you have control. Once I learned that, it dispelled the whole problem with the triple bars. Now, when I see a triple bar, I think goody, 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 because now I feel like I have maybe a hair of an advantage over some of my competitors, because I'm going to get to the triple bar, ride it like it's an oxer, because the triple bar is not where you have faults most of the time. The fault with the triple bar is always the next jump. So there's no reason to worry all that much about the triple bar. I'm far more concerned with that other jump. And it's weird. I started doing that and the horses jumped the triple bar better. Hey, we could get wet. Beautiful. Bless you. Good. Yes. Low hand. Beautiful. I feel like my riders are starting to learn it's easier to maintain than regain. Stop, stop, stop. Now, now I didn't stop her because it was too deep. I stopped her and I saw it happen. I saw it happen. I saw it. It was going so well.
Stopped and I needed to let go.
Well, no. I mean, yes and no. Not really. The problem had nothing to do with that. The problem had to do with what was going on between your ears. It was going well. The horse was soft. So you started thinking about the distance at the oxer. She started thinking about the distance at the oxer. And then when she was at that pivotal moment, when she needed to squeeze and fit that in, she realized, I can't fit that in because my leg is nowhere in the village. I'm going to have to go hunt for my leg for 15 minutes before I can put it on my horse. So she just got stuck in limbo, which is really unfortunate, I have to say, because the first half of it was just absolutely brilliant. But we're going to let you go ahead and start from the beginning. Now, what I want to see is I want to see you land and do the work. Not show me that you can find a distance. If I want to see someone find a distance, I'll go home and I'll watch John French. That's it. Good. See if you can tell him how much you love him and then ask him for more. Good. Now around this corner, take the opportunity to also correct your rein length. And then squeeze. Bend him right, squeeze. Bend him right. Get that rideability. Right. There. Go past it. Go past it. Yes. Squeeze. Good. Left. Yeah. Don't give up. Don't give up. I didn't mind that. I'm in a bad place. Good. Not too slow. Good. Good. Yeah. Starting to jump. Beautiful. Okay, next one. Alicia, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. You're really working hard and you're doing a wonderful job. You just needed to touch more leg right there. That would have solved the problem, all right? But you did a wonderful job. And I don't know him that well, but it seems to me the more leg you put on him, the better he's jumping.
Yeah.
Very well done.
Yeah.
Good.
Oh, thank you so much.
Good job. Squeeze for the ad, Andrew. Good. It's got to be leg for the ad with you, all right, bud? Keep softening. Come on, find your tack. Do the work. Do the work. Yep. Do your work. Keep your leg until he leaves the ground. Lovely job. Now do all the softening, Andrew. Shorten your reins. Find the tack. Maybe a little bit of leg for acceleration. And then get his hips out. Wait for it with your body. Squeeze. Good. Do the work. Sit. Sit. Good job. Squeeze to the base. Excellent. Get that right bend, Andrew. Do the work. Keep him fresh. Keep that hind end fresh. Keep the hind end fresh. Excellent job. Get that inside bend. Beautiful. Now this is the triple bar, so you need to be active. Come on. Get his hind end active. Get his hind end active. Come on. Come on. Yes. Squeeze no matter what. Beautiful. Pressure with your leg. Wow. Andrew, beautifully done. Next one. Fantastic. Fantastic. Very well done, Andrew. Good, bud. Now, I really like to see you keep thinking like that, huh?
Yeah.
Keep doing that work.
Yeah, I feel like that was the first time I ever like put my leg on and kept my leg on.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
And it makes your job so much easier.
So much easier.
Very lovely ride, Andrew. Good. Good. Do the work on the right side. Right side. Keep your head back. Yep. Good. Now do the work on the left side. Bend him left first. The left bend first. Good. Squeeze. Squeeze. Yeah, that's your best decision thus far. Get him bent to the right, make him work. Bend him right. There you go. Go past it. Yeah. Make him work at the base. Now the right side, the left side, sorry, the left side. Yeah. There wasn't a lot of work. Good. Keep your leg. Super. Well ridden. Next one. Well done, Sheila. I thought you rode great. The only place maybe you could have done a little more work. Yeah, That end jump. That kind of that corner over there, okay? But I thought it was fantastic. You know, once you guys get the inside bend, then you can get control. Sometimes you try to get control before the bend, and that puts you in a pickle. Well, puts you in a pickle jar, not in a pickle. Nice job. Bend him right. Yes. Shorten up those reins. Get that right bend early. Then tell him he's good, and then get it again. Good. Now get the left bend early. Tell him he's good, and then ask again. Good. Left bend early. Tell him he's good. Yep. Then ask him again. And then ask him again. Come on. Good. Yep. So I liked, Michelle, come on over here. I was happy with everything until this last line. It looked like you just leg kind of died. Yeah, and then when you got here to this one, you were fine, but then you ended up, your center of gravity, you put way too far forward on the horse in the air, and so then he landed trying to catch up to you.
Did I do that once more?
Yeah, I would love it if you did that once more. That was the next thing I was going to say.
Yeah, I have trouble staying with his jump sometimes.
Yeah, but what's important to fix that, Michelle, the only way you're going to be able to fix that is to squeeze like your eyes are going to pop out. Because if you try to do it with your timing and balance, you're going to lose every time. It has to come from strength and staying in the tack, staying in the saddle. The saddle is the center of his balance. And you sometimes feel like you get a little this or you get a little that, and so you take your leg off and you try to finesse your way through it. The only way to do it is to strengthen your way through it, which means dig in with your leg. Dig in with your leg. Go ahead. Yeah, she's going to do this one more time, but you keep working over there. Good. Good. Yeah, that was much better. Now do the work when you land. Do the work. Bend him right. Squeeze, bend him. Yo, good, better. That's better, Michelle.
Yeah, I can feel where it affects my body.
Yeah, you wanted to take your leg off the time before and kind of like, yeah, but then this last time you keep your leg in the air. Yeah. And then when he gets a little deep to the last one, hold him and spur him.
I'm trying to keep his head a little.
Hold him and spur him and let him be deep.
Yeah.
You know, it takes,
Really good out of it.
yeah. It takes a little practice, but you want to let those horses be a little deep, spur them and hold them. Okay, young lady, whenever you're ready. You're doing a great job over there. I'm proud of you. Darian, do the work. Get your head back. Get your head back. Yes. Now be nice. Now tell him no. Yep. Good girl. Do the work. Get your head back. Keep that left bend. And now the right bend. Yes, Darian, brilliant. Brilliant, good. Stop him and back him up. Stop him and back him up. Stop him and back him up. Thank you. Why am I saying good? Huh? Yeah. She stuck to her plan, and when the horse shimmied up and crept up under that jump, he was used to her taking her leg off and leaning forward and, oh, do what you want. Do what you want. And instead, you held him to task. You held him to task. You kept your body in position. And then he trained himself. He trained himself, okay? Then he got a little mad and was just like, okay, I'm just going to power out over this. But that's fine. That's the beginning. All right? Why don't you go ahead and start with the oxer? I was very happy with that. Very happy with that. You're starting to be definite. You're starting to say, no. Little toad. Good. Good. Now be nice. Because he's being nice. Be nice. Now bend him and say no. That wasn't no. Bend him right. Poke. There you go. Then he learned. Then he learned. Bend him right. Good. Say no. Good. Then say yes. And now say no. Bend him right. Good. Don't give up. Don't give up. Good. Now bend him left. Okay. Good. Now you better say no. Bend him left. Good. Now say yes. Just relax. Now say no. Work, work, bend him. Good, bend him. Oh, you're a genius. All right, everybody, come on over. Let's go ahead and line up facing this way, about even with the trash can. Wow, wow, wow. Darian, we've got a new Darian. That's old Darian. But the one 5 minutes ago, 2 seconds ago was new Darian. That's new Darian. Good, don't run into the bleachers. Very good job. Very good job, okay? You shouldn't feel in any way, do you feel like you were unreasonable and mean? No, you shouldn't. What?
I felt assertive.
Assertive, yes. No. And he was like, whoa, who is this? Who is this? And then he's doing one instead of the bounce in the one. He trained himself at the vertical. He's not nickering at his buddies in the field. Okay? Beautiful riding. Beautiful riding. Great. Great. Fantastic, you guys. I was very happy with this group. I felt as though you all got it. You all got the big picture and your own picture. You all got the big picture, which is using your leg, using the shape, softening these horses, being definitive. That's all the big picture. But you were able to associate that work with each of these individuals and how it works with their issues. Because obviously your issue is different than yours, and on and on. All right? So any questions from the jockeys? Yes, Sheila.
My question is about when I was coming to the green and white and circled George right before it,
Yeah.
early on.
Uh-huh.
So I felt like I had a mental issue because I was seeing like base, and I had like a mental flashback to parking my other horse at it yesterday and panicked. And then, how do I get over the if I'm having a,
I don't know, that's a lot of stuff.
if I'm having a mental panic,
I'm just glad I'm not you.
if I'm having that, is it better to just like power through it and squeeze, or if I should you never circle that late? Should you just get over it and go? Am I teaching him a
Well, never is a long time. I circle once every 5 or 6 years. Okay? Only because I have a rule. Okay? It's like a comedian. A comedian has to have a rule. Whatever I say on stage is okay. Or he or she is not going to be funny. Now, if they get lambasted in the press afterwards, well, that's the price they pay. But that's the line they have to walk. I don't like to circle because it's got to be a rule. Now, maybe I'm going to end up in the middle of a couple jumps. Maybe it's not going to go well. Maybe I'm going to get hurt. But what I'm balancing is the amount of times I'm going to get hurt by confusing my animal. I believe that by confusing my animal, where I turn to a jump and sometimes say, no, I don't like that. Nah, you know what? We just didn't dig that today. Then that's going to create a door. A door that's an option. Remember, what was it? Let's make a deal. Right? Let's make a deal. Behind door number 1, Johnny. Okay? Behind door number 2 or door number 3. There's one door in my let's make a deal. Do you want door number 1 or door number 1? Door number 1 is on the other side of that jump. Under, over, or through. Because I don't want the horse thinking about anything but getting on the other side of door number 1. I don't want them thinking, maybe we're not going to jump this jump. But that's me. That's me. So I'm not a huge fan of circling, especially close to the jump. Now, maybe if I'm turning the corner and I feel like, yeah, the horse hasn't really got his eye on the jump yet anyways, and the horse isn't soft, then okay. But it's a rare day when you see me circle. You'll see me crash more often than you see me circle. It's true. Unfortunate. Maybe as I get older, I'll get smarter, but I'm not there yet, right? It's like this, you know, poker, I'm always the short stack. So I'm always going all in. I'm all in. All the time, I'm all in. And my horses know I am all in. Then there's no confusion. There's no confusion. So to answer your question, I am all in. Now, because I'm all in and I'm turning the corner and things aren't going right, I dig deep. I squeeze, and I put pressure on, and I force, and I make the best out of this. I try to turn a sow's ear into a silk purse. It doesn't always happen, but that's my goal. So yeah, I would jump the jump. Okay?
Do you feel like practicing those challenges lower, like we did with some of the exercises, helps with that too? It's
Yes.
comfortable, but it's low enough that you're teaching the horse to be uncomfortable and deal with it.
Absolutely. If I have a child, I'm gonna. If I'm of the mind that you're gonna learn to swim by my throwing you in the pool, I'm gonna throw you in the pool where I can still save you. I'm not gonna just toss you out in the ocean where I don't know where you are. So
it's like you definitely have to practice being uncomfortable.
yes, like this stuff, these little jumps like this are fantastic. Because circling in front of one of these, you feel like, well, I don't know what that says about me. Right? That's what you were thinking. You were looking back at that jump and you're like, I circled before that? All right. Any other, good question. Any other questions from the jockeys? Is now or not?
I don't know, with young horses, like this horse in particular, like there's this balance of like getting them to shows and getting them in the ring, but also getting the rideability. It's like you go to a show, you're not going to have this. Like, how do you balance that with your young ones?
I don't care
Just go.
about winning with the young horses. With the young horses, I make a commitment. I'm not here to win ribbons. I'm not here, you know, they have those young horse classes for the 4s and the 5-year-olds and the 6-year-olds. Very rarely do I do that. I don't personally, I'll come over there. I don't personally like doing that because it sends to me the wrong message. It says I'm trying to win. Instead, I will avoid all those classes until the last class of the year, and then I'll show up for the finals. And when there's, you know, $15,000, $25,000 up, then I try to win, right? But I'm not going to try to win for $200 because I'm burning the candle at both ends. I want to use these young horses to train them. I want to use these courses to train them. I don't want to use these courses to untrain them. I'm busy trying to make deposits, not withdrawals, especially with these quality young horses. You know, all of these horses here are quality horses. These 3 young horses are spectacular quality young horses, all 3 of these. So with these horses, this is the kind of work that you have to be doing. You've got to be getting the rideability. You've got to be getting the rideability of these animals because they're not going to be young horses. They're only young horses for about 3 years, tops. And in 3 years, in the end, you got to be jumping a 1.40 meters and then go up from there. So in 3 years, that's a lot of ground to cover. So the last thing you want to be doing is trying to win the meter 10 class. My opinion. Everybody's different, but that's me. Good question. Any other questions?
Will you come back next year?
I'll come back anytime I can. Anytime you'll have me and anytime I can. I got to say, this group was fantastic. I mean, everybody's been fantastic. This group was fantastic because I really felt like you drank the Kool-Aid. I really felt like you drank the Kool-Aid and you gave it an honest try. You know, you were really working on the problems that you had. You were using the tools that we were working on today. Now those tools, again, they're not always the tools you use, but those are tools that they're nice to have when you need them, all right? So well done, you guys. Oh, any questions from anyone that was watching? Yes, I'll start here and then.
So I have a similar issue, young horse. And I do a lot of this kind of thing with her, but she's so strong. Like I'm just not physically strong enough, tall enough, and I get a little pulley. I mean,
right.
Me, right?
Right.
Would it be appropriate in that situation? Because I want to be nice and soft, but I feel like if I'm in just like a simple snaffle, I'm much harder on her than if I was in like a little bit of a stronger bit. Would that be appropriate for like a period of time until she understands?
Yeah, the cavalry guide is to go to stronger bit until they understand the bit and then soften up on the bit. So yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with going to a stronger bit. If you just don't feel as though you have the leverage, it's easier for me to say, being my size and my build, to say just muscle through it. You know, get that horse bent around your inside leg so that you have control.
Yep.
But
I'm trying.
yeah, but you're trying. So yeah, you might need to go to a full cheek. You know, you might need to go to a full cheek that's a little bit sharper for a while until the horse understands the bit. And I say full cheek because in the beginning I'm working on all that lateral work, and a loose ring has a tendency to slide through and pinch. So with a full cheek, you can keep their jaw turning in the direction that you're going, but maybe a little bit sharper. Okay, but yeah, I mean, you got to do the best you can, and if you need to go to a sharper bit, feel free. That being said, I would have to say, along with that, is I would much rather see you go to a bigger spur.
Okay.
Because the spur is the problem.
Yep.
Remember that horse? I don't know if you saw me when I got on that horse. Okay. The first thing I did when he started, oh, okay, that's great. You're good at that. I'm good at this. Bow.
Yep. Okay.
All right. And so then the horse was like, Jesus, where'd that come from, right? All right. And then it totally moved the furniture on him. And then once you start going to their rib cage, you take, then you're playing to their weakness, because all they can either just, you saw that horse go through, he ran the gamut of how do I stop this man from spurring me, right? The first thing was, oh, I'm gonna just turn into a statue. I'm gonna try that. Right, so the first thing he did, he just toughened up. He said, I'm going to take it, I'm going to turn into a statue, and I'm not going to move. I'm not going to move. And then eventually he's like, all right, I'm going to move. And then, all right, I'm going to buck. I'm going to hit you in the face, and I'm going to kick you, and I'm going to stomp on you. Oh, I'm not going to do any of that. So he's going through his options. He's going down his list, all right? And then he got the list of things that they can do with their body is much shorter than the list of things they can do with their mouth. So if you go with their body, sure, they're going to go down the list, and every time they go down the list, that's normal. When he's doing that, I wasn't stressed out at all, was I? I was just like, I'll wait this out because I know how it's going to end. I know how it's going to end because that's, believe it or not, that's not the first horse that stonewalled me. So I know exactly this is exactly the sequence, and I know the next thing he's going to do is try to rear buck me off. He's going to start with the stonewall, and then he's going to go to the rear or the buck or the dolphin jump. You know, it's just they're horses. They're just not. There's not a lot of new stuff they're going to do. So, but there's less stuff with the leg, but it's more violent. It's more violent, and that's why people don't weather the storm. When you put your spur on a horse and it bloats and then tries to take to the air, most people say, "Oh, I'm not doing that again." I try to wait till they're in midair and then hook them again.
Right. Yeah.
Because then they say, "Ooh, I don't want to do that again." That's what the horse says. I want the horse saying, "I don't want to do that again." If I say, "I don't want to do that again," then they've won. They've won. So I have to cowboy up. I have to cowboy up and be willing to, take one for the team. And sometimes I get launched and then I get back on and I get launched again. But go to the body. Be willing to get launched, go to the body and try to ignore the obvious. They make that obvious for a reason because they don't want you going to the body. So you just go to the body. Try not to focus as much on what they're...
Right.
Go. That's the illness. That's the symptom.
Yep.
Good question, yes.
All these horses are jumping so much better, and it varies horse to horse. But give me the top 3 reasons this program has them jumping so much better.
Well, I'll give you the one reason. The one reason is their hind end is closer to the jump. When people are thinking about distance, when you're thinking riders, when you're thinking about going to this jump, and instead of thinking about your horse's body and the way it feels, and you're thinking about, well, if I'm a good rider, the definition of as a good rider is just to put a good horse right at X. If I can accomplish X, I'm a good rider. I know. Because when I did the equitation for years, I thought that was my job, because that's what they kept pinning colorful ribbons on me for. And then I got a jumper, and I thought, hey, this jumper can jump 5 feet, because I remember trying him, and we set up a 5-foot jump, and he jumped 5 feet, and I thought, okay, I'm ready for the Grand Prix, because I know I can put him at X, and I know he can jump 5 feet. So what's the problem? Wow, I was way off. There was a lot of problems. I never got even remotely close to 5 feet in the ring. I had to relearn everything. If you get your horse's hind end closer to the jump, then they have their weight on their hind end. And they're thinking about jumping with their hind end. The shoulder is easier for them than the hind end. So then they get to the base of the jump, and then they are in a position of strength. When they get to the jump like this, they're in a position of weakness. And then the rider doesn't understand why they had the rail down, because they put them at X. But the fact is, you're not really working the horse as an athlete. You're working your eye as though that's what this is about. It's not what this is about. I would much rather have a horse strong and in position. You watch all weekend, you've seen that. All weekend you've watched people be too deep, too long, but every time the horse was here, it was always a quality jump. Because quality jump comes from a quality canter. Quality jump comes from a quality canter, not from a horse that's tonguing you, leaning on you, on its shoulder, and you put in the perfect distance. How is a quality jump going to come from that? It is not. So if I can just get the jockeys to start riding their horses and thinking about the quality of the canter and the quality of the suppleness and, you know, getting that hind end working, then all of a sudden you start seeing jumps where the hind end, they start to crack their back. You know, you see the swing. Even you were telling me yesterday with your older man, with the gray horse, the other gray. I mean, he looked like $1 million horse yesterday because he was jumping and boo, he was playing. He was playing. Did you see? I don't know if you saw him yesterday. His hind end was pow. I mean, he looked like a, you know, Grand Prix horse. Because you're getting to the jump square, they've got all their weight on that, and they're like, yeah, now I'm strong, and I can jump. They're balanced, right? I'm not a jumper, but if I want to jump up on those bleachers, I'm not going to be able to do it very well like this. But at least if I have my hind end underneath, if I have my legs underneath me, I've got a chance to scale a couple of those rungs. So just the fact that I get to the right spot in the ground before those bleachers doesn't mean I'm gonna have a quality jump. So that's why you're seeing the horses across the board jump better. Just because they have a better canter. Any other questions? All right, let's go eat. Well done, everybody. You're very welcome. Thank you so much for coming or having me come.